Have you ever wondered why you keep getting in your own way? You set a goal, feel excited, and promise yourself that this time will be different. But a few days later, you start procrastinating, lose motivation, or convince yourself to quit before making real progress. This is called self-sabotage. Self-sabotage happens when your own thoughts and habits stop you from achieving the success you genuinely want. The surprising part is that most people don't do it on purpose. Your brain isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to protect you. The problem is that your brain values safety more than success. Anything familiar feels safe, even if it makes you unhappy. Change, growth, and new opportunities feel uncertain, and your brain naturally treats uncertainty as a potential threat. That's why people delay important work, avoid big opportunities, or give up just before a breakthrough. It's not always because they're lazy or unmotivated. Often, it's because their brain is choosing comfort over growth. In this video, you'll discover the hidden psychology behind self-sabotage, the 5 biggest reasons your mind works against your goals, and practical strategies to finally break the cycle. Let's begin with the first reason. One of the biggest causes of self-sabotage is your comfort zone. Your brain loves routines because they save energy and make life predictable. Predictability creates a feeling of safety. That's why even an unhappy situation can feel easier than taking a risk. Think about someone who dreams of starting a business. They watch videos, read books, and spend months planning everything perfectly. But when it's finally time to start, they keep saying, "Maybe next month. I just need a little more preparation." The real problem isn't a lack of preparation. It's the fear of leaving what's familiar. The same thing happens when people avoid applying for their dream job, refuse to speak in public, or keep delaying a goal they've always wanted to pursue. Here's the truth. Growth begins where your comfort zone ends. If you always choose what's familiar, your life stays the same. But the moment you accept temporary discomfort, you give yourself the chance to become the person you want to be. Most people believe self-sabotage is caused by the fear of failure. And yes, that's true, but it's only half the story. No one likes being rejected, making mistakes, or feeling embarrassed. To avoid those painful emotions, many people procrastinate, overthink every decision, or never even get started. But there's another fear that's even more surprising. The fear of success. At first it sounds strange. Why would anyone be afraid of succeeding? Because success doesn't just bring rewards, it also brings responsibility. The more successful you become, the more people expect from you. More people notice your work. More people judge your decisions. And with greater success comes greater pressure to keep performing. For some people, that pressure feels more frightening than failure itself. Another hidden reason is something psychologists call imposter syndrome. This is the feeling that you don't truly deserve your success. Deep down, you believe you're not good enough, and sooner or later, everyone will discover it. The surprising part is that even highly successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and professionals experience this feeling. Imagine a student preparing for an important exam. Instead of studying, they spend hours scrolling through social media or doing unimportant tasks. Or think about someone who finally gets an interview for their dream job. They keep telling themselves they'll prepare tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week. From the outside, it looks like laziness. In reality, it's fear wearing a different mask. Whether you're afraid of failing or afraid of succeeding, the outcome is often the same. You stay exactly where you are. The first step to breaking this cycle is simple. Recognize your fear instead of obeying it. because fear will always tell you to wait. Growth begins the moment you decide to move anyway. Not every obstacle comes from the outside. Sometimes, the biggest thing holding you back is the story you've been telling yourself for years. Psychologists call these limiting beliefs. These are deeply rooted ideas about who you are and what you believe you're capable of achieving. The interesting part is that many of these beliefs are formed during childhood. As children, we absorb messages from our parents, teachers, friends, and the environment around us. If you grow up hearing things like, "You're not smart enough," "Success is only for lucky people," or "People like us never become wealthy," those messages can slowly become part of your identity. Even if no one said those exact words, repeated failures, constant criticism, or being compared to others can create the same effect. Over time, your mind starts repeating these stories automatically. "I'm not smart enough. I'm always unlucky. I'll never be successful." The danger is that once you believe these stories, they begin to control your actions. You stop applying for opportunities. You avoid learning new skills. And every setback becomes proof that your negative beliefs were right. This creates a powerful cycle. Your beliefs shape your actions. Your actions shape your results. And your results strengthen those same beliefs. But here's something important to remember. A belief is not a fact. Just because you've believed something for years doesn't make it true. Many successful people once believed they weren't talented, intelligent, or capable enough. The difference is that they questioned those beliefs instead of accepting them. The moment you challenge an old story, you create space for a new one. And sometimes, changing your life begins with changing the sentence you repeat inside your own mind. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "I'm lazy. I'm bad with money. I'm just not disciplined"? They may sound like harmless opinions, but over time they become part of your identity. Psychologists have found that people naturally behave in ways that match the person they believe they are. If you believe you're lazy, you'll give up the moment something becomes difficult. If you believe you're bad with money, you'll avoid learning about finances. If you believe you're not disciplined, one missed workout or one skipped study session feels like proof that you'll never change. This is how self-sabotage quietly takes control. The labels you repeat become invisible rules that guide your behavior. But here's the good news. Your identity isn't fixed. It's built through your actions. Instead of saying, "I'm lazy," say, "I'm becoming someone who takes action." Instead of saying, "I'm bad with money," say, "I'm learning how to manage my finances." Every small positive action is evidence of the person you're becoming. Real change doesn't begin when you feel confident. It begins when you act like the person you want to become. Now let's look at another reason your brain works against you. Imagine sitting down to work on an important goal. Before you begin, you decide to check your phone for just 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes quickly turn into an hour. Social media, Netflix, gaming, online shopping, and endless notifications all have one thing in common. They give your brain an instant dose of dopamine, the chemical that makes you crave quick rewards. Your brain naturally prefers immediate pleasure over long-term success. That's why scrolling feels easier than reading. Gaming feels more exciting than building a business. And buying something new feels better than saving for the future. The problem isn't these activities themselves. The problem is letting them become your brain's default source of happiness. Successful people don't avoid pleasure. They simply become better at delaying it. Because they know that the satisfaction of achieving a meaningful goal lasts far longer than the excitement of another notification. Start paying attention to the moments when you procrastinate, avoid opportunities, or make excuses. Instead of judging yourself, ask a simple question. What am I really afraid of? Very often, you'll discover that fear, not laziness, is making the decision. The second step is to challenge your limiting beliefs. Whenever you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't do this," pause and ask yourself, is this actually a fact, or is it just an old story I've been repeating? Most of the time, you'll realize it's only a belief, not reality. Third, focus on small daily actions. Don't try to change your entire life overnight. Read 1 page. Exercise for 10 minutes. Work on your goal for 20 minutes. Small actions may seem insignificant, but repeated every day, they create extraordinary results. Fourth, build a new identity. Don't wait until you feel confident before taking action. Take action first. Confidence is not something you find, it's something you build through repeated action. Finally, learn to accept discomfort. Every meaningful goal feels uncomfortable in the beginning. Starting a business, learning a new skill, speaking in public, changing your habits, none of these feel easy at first. But discomfort is not a sign that you're failing. It's often a sign that you're growing. If there's one message to remember from this video, it's this: self-sabotage isn't laziness. Most of the time, your brain is simply trying to protect you from uncertainty, rejection, and failure. But the same instincts that once helped humans survive can also keep you trapped inside a life that's far smaller than your true potential. The good news is that your brain can change. Every time you challenge a limiting belief, every time you take action despite fear, and every time you step outside your comfort zone, you're becoming a stronger version of yourself. So the next time you catch yourself making excuses, stop for a moment and ask yourself, is this really what I want? Or is this just fear trying to keep me comfortable? That one question has the power to change the direction of your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what's one self-sabotaging habit you're ready to leave behind today? See you in the next video.